Love it. Love it. So again, if you want to learn more, you can go to accountsbalance.com. Sounds like they've got an amazing opportunity where you can get the first 2 months free. Um, Nathan, I'd love to shift gears for just a sec if it's okay with you.
Let's do it.
So you guys built FreeUp and you sold it. Obviously, there were some lessons learned in kind of growing your agency and positioning it for sale. Are there any insights you could share with the listeners that like maybe had that aspiration? Hey, I want to sell this agency at some point. Like, how should I be thinking and how should I be organizing my books for that type of eventuality?
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of from a bookkeeping standpoint, you just need clean books from day one. I can't tell you how many people they go to sell their business and then they hire the bookkeeping company to go back 3 years. And no bookkeeping business is doing 3 years worth of books in like 2 weeks. Like that could take months to get that done. And I mean, selling our company was a 6-month process. It was the most stressful 6 months of my life by far. And that's with clean, immaculate books. I can't imagine how stressful it would be if I didn't have clean books. So make sure that you have clean books up front. In terms of selling your business, a big thing that I got for 4 years was, hey, I won't be able to sell the company because I was the face of FreeUp. I was the one going on podcasts. People saw my name everywhere. But the truth is, we were not involved in the operations. We hired team leaders. We hired people that were doing customer service, filling orders, going out and getting leads. And we had multiple lead channels. So when someone came in and bought it, replacing me as the head of marketing or the face of marketing, fairly easy. They have a whole marketing team. They own a marketing company, but I would not have been able to sell the company if I was the one doing the fulfillment or I was the one in operations. So if you're the one doing the PPC or doing the SEO, that's what you have to remove yourself from if you want to actually sell your company. And the best advice that I ever received, and I tell this to everyone that asks me about selling a business or is in the process, is vet the buyers just like they're going to vet you. When you're going through due diligence, it felt like we were getting 30 questions a day and having to respond to it. And we would send 30 questions right back. We wanted to know everything about the buyer, their past success, past failure, their net worth, their plans for FreeUp after we bought it, how they treat employees. We want to know every little thing because you want to sell it to good people. Once you sell it, everything's out of your control. And a lot of these deals, it's not like you sell your business for $5 million, you just get $5 million up front. There's part of it up front, part of it's an earnout. And you need to make sure that you're selling it to good people who understand business if you want to get your earnout and structure your earnout in a good way. But you also don't want to be arguing with someone years after you've sold the company. You don't want to end up in a lawsuit down the line or sell it to some jerk who makes you look bad in front of clients that you might want to work with again or hurt your team. You want to sell it to good people that have the same values as you. And me personally, I'd rather take slightly less money and sell it to good people than make slightly more and then have to deal with nonsense after the fact. So we couldn't be happier. We sold it to really good people who honored their word and paid us every penny and treated our team well, and still run FreeUp. But that only happened because we spent time vetting the buyers, and that was the best advice I ever received.
So good. Smart lessons and insights there. A couple other questions in the comments if you're up for it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Innova Solutions, and this is probably what might be running through a lot of you guys' heads, is why don't I just hire someone from FreeUp or from Upwork that's got some good reviews to handle this for me? It seems like that's not too hard.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely options, right? You got big accounting firms and CPAs. You've got bookkeeping service like mine. You've got people who use their own software like Bench and Final Loop. And then you've got the VAs and the freelancers. And they all kind of come with pros and cons. Like the bigger places are more expensive. They might be more focused on tax. The bookkeeping service, obviously you're not getting someone like one-on-one. Like you'll have your one-on-one bookkeeper, but it's a team. It's a small company. And the VA freelancer, you have to be really on top of them. There's no one that it's going above. So if you get a bookkeeper from AccountsBalance, they have a team leader above them. They have a controller above them. You're getting multiple levels of reviews before it even gets to them. And if you have a higher level question, if your bookkeeper doesn't know the answer, you've got a person above them with even more experience ready to go. We're also very focused on processes like integration and making sure you have a good kickoff call and customer service after the fact. If you hire a VA or a bookkeeper, you're kind of at that mercy. And from our experience, a lot of bookkeepers are not good they might be good at bookkeeping, but they're not necessarily good at the stuff around bookkeeping. Scaling, eventually hiring people, having processes, being good at integration, customer service. If that VA gets sick or that bookkeeper gets sick or a freelancer gets sick, or anything, or they land too many clients and those clients are paying more money, they might drop you. So you're kind of putting all your eggs in one basket, even though you're saving money. And you better make sure that you know enough to, that's when you need to really educate yourself, and you know enough to point out the errors, because there's no one above them that it's being run through.
I think it's a great point. Lots of great reasons there. Let us know if they have any follow-up questions on that. Let's see. Amin's asking, what's your advice on saving and keeping receipts and files related to bookkeeping in case you get audited?
Yeah, so I can tell you what I do, and there are tools out there that hold on to receipts. I personally wouldn't just put them into QuickBooks. You're going to pay a lot more for a bookkeeper to do that. It's a lot of manual work, and to me, it's not worth it. Whenever I spend money on something that isn't just digitally emailed to me, I have a Gmail set up that's accounting, or I think it's billing at AccountsBalance.com, and I take a picture of the receipt and I email it right to that inbox, and it's right there. It's dated, it's timed, and if I ever get audited and they're like, "Hey, what's this?" I look up the date in it, and everything's in that Gmail in one spot. Other people prefer tools that will organize a little bit more. That's fine too. But from me doing a bookkeeping standpoint, or from our bookkeepers, we don't need your receipts to do your books. We're going to have access to your credit cards, bank accounts, view only access. Don't give, I forgot to say that before, don't give people full access to your bank accounts. They shouldn't be able to move money, view only access only. But you should have the responsibility of keeping all your receipts either in a software or in a Gmail account. And the simpler is the better. As long as you have record for it and it's real legit receipts, if you get audited, you're going to be in good shape.
Love it. That's a nice little hack, right? Set up an email account every time you get a receipt, send it there. Now at least you've got a backup place where you can go and find the digital proof, right? Because you need to be able to validate some of these expenses. Otherwise, it will get thrown out in the case of an audit. So super good question there. Let's see, any other questions? If you guys have follow-up questions, let us know in the comments. I liked that answer, so thanks for taking the time to answer that for us. Kind of like some great insights here on the big mistakes that agencies are making with their financials. Would love it if you were on with us, and we had a pretty good group with us on live, and if you watch this after the fact, let us know in the comments, like, what were some of your key takeaways? I know, just being cognizant that you shouldn't do this yourself is huge. Recognizing the difference between a CFO and a bookkeeper, and kind of the CPA, kind of where they sit, and the fact that you need to look at them differently. I think most importantly, knowing that you have to have somebody yourself to sit down and look at the financials, and you have to look at it and you have to judge it. And Nathan provided us a great resource for kind of what the agenda should be for that meeting to make it super productive. Kind of in wrapping up here, Nathan, any other nuggets or pieces of wisdom you'd like to drop on the listeners?
Yeah, I got one last one. We kind of touched upon it. Make sure your bookkeeper and your CPA are communicating. It can be as easy as CCing your CPA on emails to your bookkeeper. Some people, for whatever reason, this kind of blew my mind when we started AccountsBalance. They wouldn't give us contact to their CPA, and because I think they just didn't want to pay their CPA to talk to us or something. And so now during integration, we get that information up front. You want them on the same page. It's worth it to pay both sides to talk to each other. And like, we have a client portal where we upload the reports. You can give your CPA access to the client portal. You don't necessarily have to be in every single thing, but they should be in communication. That's only going to help you. Just like when we sold Free Up, we had our lawyer and our CPA in communication. They should be communicating. That's your finance team. Don't keep them separate. I've also seen situations where we've said, "Hey, can we talk to your CPA? Can we talk to your CPA?" And they say, no. And then it gets the end of the year and the CPA said, "Hey, actually, I want it on accrual," or "Actually, I want it this way." And from our side, we're going to have to charge you to redo all that work because we've been trying to talk to the CPA the whole time. So put people in contact with each other. That's just a smart thing to do. If you have a CFO, they should be in there too. All three sides should be communicating.
Love that. Great tip. Make sure you put them in touch. You kind of have that cross communication. Nathan, thanks for being on. Thanks for all the great insights. If you're an agency owner and you're like, "Hey, this sounds great. I'd like some help with my books," I'd love to connect with an organization that understands the agency space and has a proven model where they can cost effectively kind of solve this for you. You can go to AccountsBalance.com, get 2 months free. Thanks for listening, everyone. If you have follow-up questions, post it in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or on YouTube. Nathan and I will be watching it and kind of fill in any gaps that you have. Nathan, anything else to kind of wrap us up today?
No, I mean, feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. I post content daily on the boring parts of business, hiring and bookkeeping. And you can check out AccountsBalance and Outsource School if you're interested in my hiring SOPs. And really appreciate everyone watching. And if I can help you in any way that has nothing to do with hiring and bookkeeping, reach out anytime.
Awesome. Nathan, thanks again. Yes, check out Outsource School if you're doing any type of onboarding and hiring. It's a tremendous resource. We will wrap it up there. So thanks for being on. Thanks for listening. And we'll talk to everybody again real soon.
Bye, guys.